But regardless, we're getting a brand new champion. Let's get ready.
Black Dragon starting out on attack. ENCE on defense. Long room defense for the start. Capcan coming from Wilkie. He has been playing Capcan through this entire final. It seems to be his operator of preference on defense, and it has actually seen quite a lot of use. We also have a pretty standard setup from Black Dragons that will kind of lean towards a main lobby push. They have all the smokes in hand on Julio and Psycho, ready to use their glass, ready to use their candelas to try and disrupt as much of the ENCE hold as possible. There's a lot of other things they're going to have to account for, though, as it seems ENCE is going to be getting pretty aggressive here. Some preemptive holes being placed in the garage. I have a hunch that that's just Chalet trying to distract Black Dragons, but it's not going to matter, as it's likely Black Dragons will spawn exclusively over on the west side of things, start clearing the west, and then as once they've established west clear, they will move downstairs, as is clear from their drone positioning.
I spoke very briefly with some of the teams that have exited, that have played against both Fawn and Black Dragons, and they have said that one of the biggest X factors in this is the crowd. We've talked about it ad nauseum. We've said so much about this crowd, but from the actual interactions that the other non-Latin America teams have had, what they say is that it's deafening, and they're up, they're lively, they can be a significant distraction, and it's no surprise that they have been a big difference maker for them now. And Black Dragons will start their push. You see they've taken hold of small tower and will look to push in, and those Capcan traps are going to slow them down, but not by much. Kanto Raketti inside a dining hall. He is right now the first target for Black Dragons if they are able to figure him out, and it doesn't look like his position has been completely revealed just yet.
You could see that the operators on attack, who are not currently trying to hunt these roamers, are in fact using the drones to support their teammates, and that's very important teamwork that will likely aid Black Dragons when clearing out Kanto Raketti's roam. However, ENCE has been peeling quite a lot from the roam. They aren't trying to overcommit to it. Kanto Raketti is seeing these drones, and he's getting more and more cautious. Wilkie, all the way inside of Showers, is in a good bunkered state.
Kanto Raketti peeking around the corner and trying to get a couple shots on them. He is under a lot of pressure now, both from drones and personnel, as Black Dragons is going to close in on him. And this is something that we've seen Black Dragons do so many times now. Wilkie will get droned out, and it's going to be up to Black Dragons to be able to flush them out of their spots. Let's see, Kanto Raketti and Wilkie are positioned to be able to welcome them, but it's going to come down to simply a matter of 8.
You can see Psycho, he's got that top west side control, and he's going to continue to try and clear out these roamers, but it's just continuing to stall. Kanto Raketti, the first kill of this series, the second kill of this series, the third kill of this series, takes out Julio and PZD before he gets a refrag from Kamikaze. What an amazing roam from Kanto Raketti.
He's taken almost all of Wag's health down as well. He's going to get pushed by Kamikaze. Is he going to be able to get out? That's a 4th kill for Kanto. There's only one left standing in the way between the entire team. He doesn't have very much health left, but neither does Wag. And ENCE coming off strong, or rather, Kanto coming off strong. You'll see now, though, Wag will move, and he'll get as far away from the Ella of Kanto Raketti as he can.
No ace for you.
And he will fall inside of garage, or sorry, a construction rather, instead of pushing in through the garage, which it looked like he was going to do. Untitled is there, gets hit by a concussion mine. Final 15 seconds, and all they need to do is just wait it out. He does have the diffuser, but he has a world of hurt. Kanto circling around. Is he going to be able to make it work? If Wag pushes, Kanto is there, but it looks like Wag is just going to stay perfectly still and deny him. Can Kanto get him in time? No! Wag is going to deny him the ace, but Kanto gets them all anyway, and ENCE takes round number 1.
Wow, I feel cheated. I feel absolutely cheated as a spectator that Kanto Raketti did not get that ace. He was set up perfectly for it. You saw there, Boonsey called to his teammate. Whoa, guys, he's coming from construction. Kanto, get over here. And Kanto started rotating, but Wag just was not going to peek it. Fair play, Wag. Fair play. Save the KD, but darn, I feel cheated.
He got all but like 3 HP of every single one of them, but that 3 HP, the difference maker between an ace. We have not seen an ace yet here in these finals, and boy, what a start that would have been. Now Black Dragons will go to defense. Rather than bury themselves in the laundry room downstairs, they'll opt to go up top in kids' dorms. With the way that they've been playing, they like to execute a strategy and then all collapse at once. On defense, they play a bit more free-flowing and a very aggressive roam play. You've seen Psycho and PZD, if left unattended, can tear through teams. How do you counter that as ENCE on this specific site?
Well, I think we're going to see a pretty standard west side clear starting from the Drunk Tower. Obviously, the roam game is going to be focused on the meeting hall, the attic, the tower, and the kitchen. If you can consolidate all those roamers all the way back to meeting hall, you can hold that line firm and simply start to work on. Wow, Boonsy with the first kill of this round, taking out Psycho on top of the car in the junkyard spawn. That's a very important kill. It looks like it was completely random and lucky in the main hallway, but it's a kill nonetheless.
That is going to start you off really, really well. You've lost your Valkyrie, and the only question is, was he able to get all those Valk cams out at once? I would suspect that a big reason as to why they got that kill, we were likely expecting a Valk to get a camera outside, unaware if they actually did that or not.
Whatever the case, it is going to still be a man advantage for ENCE. And the Valkyrie seemed pretty far back, so I'm going to guess no. Either way, again, a west side clear coming out from ENCE. What we were expecting. They're going to try and push all these roamers inside of kitchen and whatnot further back so that they can then prioritize a push into the bomb sites. Chalet going to be playing with fire on that main west window, but will walk away strong. There aren't a lot of Black Dragons defenders actually on the bomb sites right now. In fact, there is but one. The rest of them roaming far over by Armory. It's just down to Julio and Wag, who has come back, but he's pretty far away.
One thing, too, the two to watch for me today are going to be PZD as well as Psycho. Julio came out and played exceptionally well yesterday, but it was the roaming combo of Psycho and PZD who stole so many kills away from the rest of their team, especially PZD, and he's been absolutely unstoppable on that Ela. Wilkie, a good shot with that Glass DMR, is going to wait and see if Julio will peek. He's hunkered down in the corner. And you can see now he'll do some droning as ENCE has stalled out a little bit. We're approaching the 1 minute mark in the round number 2. They did get that early kill, but haven't been able to make a lot of it work since then. Why? The highly mobile roaming and run and gun style of play. Because of how spread out Black Dragons is, it's difficult for ENCE, or appears to do that. But as I say that, you can hear the crowd as PZD gets a kill on Chalet. You've lost your Capitao before he can get the most out of that crossbow, and now ENCE is going to have to regroup in the final minute.
One of the players to watch from ENCE off the board in Chalet, Kantaraketi and Boonsy still alive though, and they have been performing admirably, as I'm sure you guys are aware, throughout this LAN. Kantaraketi positioned underneath the white stairs. Now he can dislodge anyone playing at the top of those white stairs, but no one's doing that. A trade between PZD and Wilkie. Great shot there. Kanto gets a nice frag onto Kamikaze. He still has to deal with Wag. He's going to see the head, but not land the head shot. It's a 3 versus 2, but the time is ticking away. Julio takes him down, or Julio's taken down by Boonsy.
It's going to leave just Wag left on site. 3v1, diffuser going down, and now Wag is going to need to push up. He sees Boonsy, he lights him up, but that small magazine of the SMG-11 won't be enough. He'll come back up top, and they're going to pressure him. There is a Claymore outside. Wag is going to have to contend with an almost impossible set of parameters to get this defuse, but we've seen crazier things before. Panari just waits, and Wag is trying to plot his advance. Bootsy and him seem to be doing a ring around the rosy here, but Bootsy takes his head off, and ENCE storms out to a 2-0 lead.
A great shot there from Boonsy, and it is going to be another ENCE round. They seem to be walking away with this right now. Black Dragons struggling to get their feet on the ground. 0-2. Not what a lot of people were expecting, not what I was expecting, but ENCE seems to be playing on another level. Now, we also have had a lot of instances that whereby ENCE has gotten just some kind of lucky kills, some random, seemingly random kills, and it's reminiscent of the Evil Geniuses match. I don't know if you remember, but that shot from Panari and Habana onto NVK inside of Offices of Border, that's just, by most accounts, that is lucky. But it is ENCE who is going for those attempts, and it is working out great for them, almost 9 times out of 10, which is weird. You don't often see that.
Lady Luck is all unequivocally on the side of ENCE
Absolutely.
today and yesterday, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. Black Dragons has looked absolutely fearless so far, and I am not surprised to see strong play from them. However, they've yet to find their footing. Now, in his pregame interview, Julio said that this wasn't really an expected matchup. They didn't have time to watch all the VODs. I would counter otherwise. Why? Because ENCE knew that if they were able to win and go to the finals, there were only 2 teams that they would face, either Black Dragons or Penta. You're going to review the VODs on both of those. So if Julio thinks that they haven't done their homework, well, he's obviously sorely mistaken for the moment.
And it is going to be Black Dragons starting their west side clear as they establish control over the school bus. Not much control to establish, but all the same, Cancer Raketti is going to attempt to contest it. Very interesting challenge there from Cancer Raketti, and while PZD will eventually fall off, it is a very dangerous one at the same time. You have to wonder when ENCE needs to stop taking these risks and just start playing the safe game. They have the lead. They don't need to do anything abnormal to continue this trend. They simply need to play smart. Black Dragons looking for a foothold now. Looks like it's going to be a B window take as they start to take control over the tower, trying to deny those roamers from coming out of Meeting Hall later in the round.
PZD works his way up from shooting range towards the outside of the attic. Will rappel up and heading towards the window here just between kids' dorms. Smart idea to set down a Claymore, just in case somebody decides to charge out, but nobody really doing many runouts at all. Claymores have actually been almost completely unnecessary over the past 2 days, either simply the fact that they're assessing risk versus reward or respect for the teammates, because I don't think we've seen a single runout. So
we've seen some runouts in this finals. We saw one from Black Dragons, I think in their first bracket match. If I recall correctly, it was on Bank, but there haven't been a lot of them. You're absolutely right. As Psycho challenges onto the Jaeger on the main west window, he's not going to be able to find anybody.
If you can shut down Psycho on Glaz, that is tremendous for your team. PZD spots Pulse of Wilkie, and he's going to look in towards that doorway. You can see Wilkie is now pushed up, so he'll have to look the other way. Instead of looking right, he'll have to look left. He's trying to find the Twitch. But look at this. We are in the final 60 seconds of round number 3. He spots PZD, and he's going to go for a couple shots through the window. It does look like he might hit the leg of PZD, and he finishes him off. Wilkie gets a kill, the captain of ENCE. And now it looked like Psycho was going to push up onto that door and Dining too. Smoke's going off just inside of kids' dorms. Will mean that they can't swing up that way.
There's still junk tower control in the favor of ENCE, and that is oh so crucial because Black Dragons are pushing in through this main west window. As Wilkie runs out, he is going to find Kamikaze and put it onto a 5-on-3. That's his second kill of this round. The Jaegers have been expended inside of main bedroom, and the smokes are going down. Psycho's going to get a shot through the smokes onto Chalet. That's an important frag. But there's still so much denial here from ENCE. But Panari gets eliminated, his second kill of the round. Julio with a team kill into Psycho, shutting him down. Cantor Raketti with the refrag, and it's still WAG now in a 1 versus 3. ENCE have seemingly locked out this push in its entirety, and they will win on time alone.
And you cannot hear it here, but when they are playing, this crowd is dead quiet, and they have not had much sign of life so far. 3-0 ENCE, and if you had told me...
Wait now.
And
they're
now,
actually getting excited.
And the crowd is now coming to life at the behest of the Brazilian casters, trying to fire this crowd up to give the hometown Black Dragons a bit of motivation here.
You know, this crowd has been clearly biased towards the Brazilians because obviously they're Brazilian, and that makes total sense. And it has been more cheering when you see a Brazilian team get a kill. But they have been extremely respectful of the other teams from other regions and delivering to them the due respect. It's awesome to see that crowd.
And especially ENCE.
Yeah, especially ENCE.
I mean, you might have heard some boos for a certain team who are no longer playing with us.
Right.
However, always cheers for ENCE. They cheered for them. They didn't boo them against Font, which I thought was the most interesting thing. They played a Brazilian team and they did not boo the opponent.
Right.
That is a great sign of respect. And ENCE have been around this scene for so long, it's no surprise that they would treat them in kind.
You know, I think most people in the Rainbow Six community have a lot of respect for ENCE. The fact that they're the only team who has made it to every single one of our PC lands for the Pro League that we have ever had. In fact, also the Invitational. And yet they've still not managed to win. I think a lot of people think that they're due one at this point, even if they're not a fan of ENCE. All that said, though, this is going to be round number 4. As ENCE starts their attack, they're going to be doing the typical West clear as they line themselves up for a main lobby drop take.
Chalet does some work on the wall near the LFPZD.
Oh, no.
Scamper off.
What a mistake there. They dropped the diffuser inside of Junkyard. That is a big miscommunication and will actually cost them quite a lot of time.
Chalet will have to go run and pick it up. He was at the downed bus. That will cost about 10 to 15 seconds. Now you can see they have managed to find PZD inside of the bathroom. If he heads towards kitchen, Kanto Raketti is there in that open wall of the rotate hole. But look at that. The yokai of Kamikaze not being used at all. Extreme patience to see Kanto Raketti. You expect that PZD will push at the moment that Kanto gets disoriented, and they'll be able to get a very easy kill there. Kanto Raketti has been absolutely on fire over today's matches, and cooling him off is going to be a very important part of any comeback that Black Dragons can muster as they find themselves down 3 rounds. Mira will pop in the distance, and we still have a bit of a stalemate as we have almost expired half of the time in this round.
And that's exactly what we see Black Dragons trying to prioritize. The time, the clock, that yokai drone not being used very intentionally. Psycho, first kill of the round. Wilkie off the board. That's an important kill. That's the glass. No more seeing through smoke.
And now Kanto Raketti still being surveyed by that yokai drone, and from above, Bootsy's going to open up the stairs. This is ENCE not using time management correctly at all, as well as a combination of Black Dragons doing a great job on defense. Now, Kanto Raketti will get his first death on from Wag, and that's a big kill from the smoke. Bootsy's going to push up, and whether the echo of Kamikaze will be there to notice is anybody's guess. PZD sees Bootsy, he'll light him up, but Bootsy takes him down, and it gets pretty close to as even as we can get. Chalet drops through the hatch in main lobby. Julio smoked out at the moment. Chalet getting the plant off. Psycho's going to run in, and he'll get Chalet, but Panari manages to do some damage to him as Bootsy downs him, but Wag and Kamikaze answer. This will be the first round win for Black Dragons as the crowd roars in the background, and they're on the board.
An excellent retake from Black Dragons, and it was due mostly to the fact that ENCE ignored the roamers. If they had cleared them out entirely, they would have probably had a better round. It makes sense though. ENCE lost a lot of players when trying to contest that kitchen. They simply went and pushed around and said, you know what? If there's going to be such a focus on these roamers, let's just go into the bomb site. A blitz being picked here from Julio. This might be a troll, but no, it looks like it's going to be locked in. That's intentional. He's going for it. We have a laundry room defense, which might mean that Black Dragons are going to be going for construction push. Very wise push there, as it is something completely out of meta. If they can make it work, if they can catch ENCE off guard, it will probably be another round for Black Dragons. But it's hard to catch ENCE as a team off guard. They seem, in this match, very prepared for everything Black Dragons has thrown at them.
This is the team that ran a Monty Smoke stock push. So, I would imagine that we're going to see what? We're going to see some smoke through the main hatch, maybe a drop, have Blitz cover stairs, put the shield on his back and plant.
I mean, they could do that, or you could push in through construction, try and just brute force your way in through the construction tunnel and the box, and then into the B-bomb site using the shield, the flashing, and, of course, like you said, those smokes. Either one works. They are going to start things out, clearing the west side, obviously. That kind of goes without saying at this point, I think, on Oregon, similar to clearing out all of the roamers on Clubhouse basement defense. But they are going to be contested by a meeting hold from ENCE. They aren't trying to extend themselves all the way into the kitchen, and I think that's wise, given that it is a little bit too much exposure. And in this case, we don't really need ENCE to do that. They simply need to win one more round to win, or put this on to match point. Julio going to be pushing up into Master. He knows this is clear as his teammates are droning in front of him, so he doesn't need to worry about any of the little corners. They have established top floor control. They're going to simply push themselves down now and start debating whether or not to contest the actual meeting hall.
And I like this play so far. Kanto Raketti inside a meeting hall. They haven't been able to flush him out just yet. And you can see they'll work away at that gigantic castle barricade, and you could find yourselves in a situation now where you just simply ignore meeting hall, but Chalet is going to be greeted by a frag grenade. He gets downed, and Kamikaze can push up at any moment. Kanto Raketti, is he going to be able to finish up? Chalet assuredly dead, but takes out the drone, and Black Dragons gets their first kill of round number 5 as we hit the halfway point. They'll drone down into the actual site itself, and I'm still wondering to see what are we going to have Julio do with that blitz.
There's a lot of big questions on the Black Dragons lineup, but because they've got the man advantage, of course they have they have more options than normal. However, ENCE still has control over Meeting Hall, which means this Black Dragons defense is stalling out somewhat. This Wilkie C4 will in fact miss PZD. An unfortunate use of that utility will result in the defaulting from the remaining defenders in Meeting Hall. There's still a castle inside of Attic, and he's going to be able to kind of create a death field in the Meeting Hall, but it's very risky for Kanto Raketti to remain there.
It's going to be tough now for them to push this off. 40 seconds, smoke's going out, and Psycho can look through it and be able to punish anybody with relative impunity. But Panari, a big kill on the Psycho, and your glass is down, but Julio eliminates the flanking Kanto Raketti, and that blitz with his pistol, effectively a sniper at that range. A C4 is going to go out to Wag. He's going to get smoked, and he'll have to go back up. They've delayed quite significantly, but they have not stopped this push dead in its tracks just yet. The blitz is down, and he's going to bulldoze his way, and it doesn't look like he's taking any significant damage. Wilkie up onto White Stairs. Julio a second kill onto Bootsy, and it looks like he's going to get another onto Panari. That's a triple kill for the blitz. Diffuser down. Wilkie comes in from behind, but PZD finishes him off, and we have ourselves a ball game.
2-3. And you could tell the crowd's excited that Black Dragons has finally awoken from their slumber. Winning that attack with extreme precision and timing. They had very little time left on the clock when they actually went for the push, but it worked out for them in the end because they were coming from somewhere. ENCE was not expecting that construction tunnel.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
coming from that drop down allowed them the maneuverability of not having to confront any of the defenders directly. And I don't know if you guys can hear it, but the crowd is absolutely roaring right now for Black Dragons. And it's going to be starting their attack, and it's going to be a top floor defense from Black Dragons. As they go upstairs, they are likely to do something similar as what we've seen so many times in the past, which is roam on this top floor hold. They've also opened up the attic for full rotation ability, which means we're going to see a lot of pressure onto the tower from both ENCE and Black Dragons alike in all likelihood.
One of the things that ENCE was doing so well was relying on Kanto Raketti, and that's not really something that a team can do necessarily. We saw that Font did that with Gohan, and it didn't pay dividends. They were eliminated. Now, Kanto Raketti being shut down, the rest of the team is failing to fill in that void. So now with that, ENCE has fallen behind in terms of man count over the last 2 rounds. They still hold a lead, and we could still go to match point in just a couple minutes. But the big worry for me, if I'm ENCE, is that as Kanto goes, so goes the team. And if he's on fire, you're winning rounds. You put 3 together basically off of the strong play of him. But when he gets shut down, everything else falls apart.
It's a huge gamble to expose him at that point, but you have to let him fly free. You have to let him play the way he needs to play, give him a job, and let him execute it. And I'm sure that's what ENCE is going to do. All they can really do apart from that is simply play their own individual games together as a unit and try their best. You really can't get around the fact that Kanto is playing really better than the rest of his team right now. Hopefully they'll wake up soon, but they are still in the lead. That is the most important factor, I think, here that maybe has been a little bit forgotten. Psycho in the tower right now is going to try and roam just a little bit, and he will be pressured by ENCE. However, not directly. I don't think they're aware of his presence, and they're going to be looking for opportunities to take out Julio as he gets lit up by both Wilkie and Kanto Raketti's synchronized shots onto his torso.
I was just about to commend them and how well they've done with not peeking. Chalet, a big kill. That'll open things up for ENCE. You've lost PZD. He's been fearsome on the roam, and a nice shot from Kanto as he loses just over half his health. But Psycho off the board. That's 2 roamers, and now you know that you can pressure that site with a bit more reliability. It looks like Kamikaze is under fire as well. And a nice shot from the pistol of the Spetsnaz operator of Wilkie, and now it's 5v2. So speak of Kanto Raketti, he's still doing well, but the rest of the team has come alive. Julio, very low on life as well. It's basically just a whole lot of Wag for them. You see Chalet lights up that mattress, and Wag is going to rotate. He's going to be able to get Boonsy down inside a lobby. He'll finish him off, as now he chases towards the kitchen, towards White Stairs. Julio a kill onto Chalet, and they are evening this out. Still an advantage in numbers, and that diffuser being down is going to be an enormous thorn in the side. And you can see Wilkie through the wall. He'll drop Julio and somehow miss. It's all up to Wag. How many times are we going to sing this same song? Wag will need to get back on site. As an anchor, just a little far off. Wilkie watches through the smoke. A smoke from Wag will answer, but he's going to have to contend with 3 members of ENCE. Oh, so low, just a hair of health for Wag. And he is going to peek a glass at his own peril. Well, we see a pistol kill. Diffuser almost out of reach. A couple shots. Wilkie is going to put ENCE on match point. And they have almost done what many people thought unthinkable.
And certainly seeming on fire today, and they have put themselves in a spot where it looks like they might actually win their first LAN ever. Now, a reminder for those of you who don't know, and we've said it before, but I feel like it should be stated, ENCE is the very last team who has been to every single one of our LAN events, and they have never won one. The last time they were in the finals was year 1, season 1, the very beginning.
Protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
So, they are looking for redemption here. They are looking for a win. They are looking for the prize that they have been chasing after for oh so long. And Black Dragons are giving them a heck of a fight.
All right. We are on match point. They are going upstairs. ENCE has, if we take a look here, ENCE has been good on both defense and offense. There was a string of Black Dragons plays that were able to allow them to capitalize on it. And now, look at this setup here. Pretty routine, pretty standard. You've got Psycho. Julio is not going to be going with the Blitz. Instead, he'll go with the Ying. This is very likely going to be a smoke plant strat just outside of the large window would be my guess, but they're all spawning over by construction.
Interesting spawn to choose for this defense. I'm not sure what their plan is here. It's likely clear out tower, then push in and smoke through the main B site windows. Once you've done that, do what you said, go in for a plant. However, that won't really work all that much considering we've got Wilkie on pulse, likely roaming underneath the bomb site. Can we see where he is, Marsu? Yeah, there he is, underneath the bomb site. Got some rotations. He's going to likely go for C4s as soon on that destructible floor as soon as the diffuse plant starts going down above him. So I don't know. If they don't clear out the roamers, Black Dragons is probably going to have a bad day on this attack.
And that, you know, the pulse underneath has won so many teams the round in the dying seconds. It's not even that ENCE is going to have to kill all Black Dragons. They just simply have to deny a plan and make them run at a time, something that we've seen a couple times so far in this matchup. There have still been members of Black Dragons alive as the round has concluded, but they just haven't been able to get the diffuser down. That's still a win, and right now that's all ENCE needs to go to map number 2. Now, another thing to keep in mind, most amazingly, this is Black Dragon's map, and they are on match point against themselves, not in favor of their team.
I think that ENCE is just something... I've never seen this team before. This isn't ENCE eSports. This is something completely different, and I really don't know how to describe it. I don't know how to analyze it. I don't know how to look back on stats and say, well, this, and this, because it's not there. It doesn't exist. ENCE eSports, as it stands now, is something completely new. And it's beautiful to see. I think they deserve it, and I hope that they continue it. But the big storyline with them is when and will they revert back to their regular selves?
If they do it all.
If they do it all. That's the big question.
One of the big things paid to ENCE was how well they played online, and they were never able to tie it up in actual person. But Julio says, not this round, not if I can help it. Down goes Boonsy, and your smoke is off the board. Now a smoke grenade will go down, and it looks like Wilkie actually might be faced with one in bathroom. He was just an inch away from PZD as he continues to run for the hills and pulls out that cardiac sensor. You can see the candelas going off from above, and Kanto Raketti's going to get a kill himself. PZD goes down, and keep in mind, ENCE only needs 4 more. 3 more as Chalet eliminates Kamikaze. And Julio, Wag, and Psycho are the only 3 left. That's Psycho down. It's 4v2. What team are we seeing? Julio goes down. It's just Wag again for the 4th time. He takes down Chalet, but he's got a tiny bit of health to go up against Panari, Wilkie, and Kanto. He's going to try to pick away at that diffuser, but he's got 10 seconds left. Can he get it in time? He's going to hide in the bathroom. Does he not know? He's going to shoot away at it.
I'm guessing at this point he doesn't understand that the diffuser...
I don't think that the diffuser wasn't planted.
I think he thought the diffuser was planted. That's the only explanation.
So in a bit of an anticlimactic ending, an error by WAG, I don't...
That's also the second round that WAG has essentially saved his op, and I'm not sure what's going on with his thought process there. A little bit of... not a little bit of a mistake, a huge mistake there by WAG. Nowhere near his team, unable to assist with the push, and then more importantly, when it came right down to it, he thought the diffuser was planted when it was. There's a sound that plays when the diffuser's planted. It's really ever present. I think it really kind of gives it away. So I'm not sure what happened there.
I am all shades of confused right now. We have no idea what happened. He was hitting away at it as if he thought that the diffuser was down. Regardless, what is being lost here, though, is that Black Dragons gets their first loss on a map, period. And a map that they picked by a score of 5-2. And now ENCE is only 5 rounds away. We were talking about how, Kanto Raketti hasn't really shown up the last couple times. Are we going to see if Boonsy and Wilkie are going to be able to pull their own weight? Is this the ENCE that's going to get first rounded again? They didn't get first rounded. They took down a team that a lot of people thought was going to go to the finals in Evil Geniuses. They then take down Font with the crowd at their backs, and now they have Black Dragons on the ropes. We're going to toss to some replays, and the big story, ENCE up 1-0, and they will head to their map. This might be over a lot sooner than we thought it. Let's take a look.
And here you can see some great performances from both of the teams. Despite the scoreline and despite Black Dragons being eliminated, they did put up a heck of a fight. And it's a good example right there, that nice trade. I mean, in general, I think it really came down to the excellent gunplay of ENCE, and I don't remember saying that I don't remember referencing that as a reason to ENCE winning a map, the excellent gunplay of ENCE. That's not normal for ENCE. That is just something they don't normally have an advantage over everyone else on. But it's clear that whenever ENCE commits to a fight, whenever they commit to a play, no matter which one of them it is, all of them really, they'd usually come out on top. There are very few examples where that's not the case. There's also a few hiccups from Black Dragons. This team kill from Julio was a prime example.
We missed Kanto Raketti's 3K, which is unfortunate. I really did want to see that again. That was a tremendous play by him. And there weren't those rounds were really not that... Okay, I'm still confused. So, but more than that...
Right, no, I'm confused as much as you are.
I'm still trying to find my words. There weren't a lot of rounds that could have gone either way.
Absolutely.
They were pretty decisive. And I think that what speaks to that is that, yes, it was a 5-2, but we've said before, it's a very close 5-2 because a couple of those rounds could have gone in favor of Black Dragons. I don't think that was the case this time. And a team that looked indomitable in Black Dragons is now going into a map that they did not necessarily want to play on, we don't know, on Chalet against them, even though they have looked very good on Chalet. And they are going down facing elimination and a second-place finish, and that would be devastating to their fans here. And I'm equal parts surprised at the ENCE that we've seen and equal parts surprised at the Black Dragons that we just saw, because where was that ruthless execution? Where was that synchronization, that almost rhythmic push that they would have where they would all just circle in and then somebody would snap their fingers and they would all just collapse? Where was that?
I'm not sure. I really am not sure. I think Black Dragons is maybe a little bit afraid, and I don't know why that might be. That seems to be the way they're playing right now, but most people, in a generalized opinion, would stack Penta way above ENCE in general. Just like in every single time those two teams have met, it's Penta in the most recent year of Rainbow Six Pro League. So it's really confusing what we're seeing here. We need Black Dragons to give us the Black Dragons that played just earlier today. Where is that team? ENCE, on the other hand, have somehow inexplicably maintained their consistent play that they've had throughout this entire series in this match. And it's really beautiful, and it's amazing, but where's Black Dragons?
Well, we're going to see which teams show up as we are ready to go to Chalet for map number 2 between Black Dragons and ENCE. And ENCE is a team, they have just gotten better. Their shakiest game was against Evil Geniuses, and since then it has been nothing but an ascendancy. And as we head to the snowy hills of France for Chalet, ENCE 5 rounds away from being crowned champions.
You know what I think it was? I think it was ENCE was hibernating just for the longest time, and they finally cracked out of their shell, and it's pretty awesome. Anyway,
the ultimate long con.
The ultimate long con,
longest
right you are.
con of
We
long
come to
cons.
every LAN, and we lose every LAN, and then, ooh, look at this. We're going to win this
But one day we'll get them.
They're getting pretty close, but they're not quite there. We have to remind you guys, this is map number 2. Black Dragons could still bring it to map number 3 pretty easily, especially given scoreline currently is 0-0. But it's going to be ENCE starting on defense and Black Dragons starting on attack.
And border awaits us if there is a tiebreaker.
Yep.
But keep in mind that Chalet is a map. There was a couple weeks ago a LAN involving all the Brazilian teams. Black Dragons practiced Chalet an awful lot, and they are ready for it. And that's why you saw them go up against Penta, and they beat Penta on it. And now here we have them go on site, and they will start on attack. Now, as I said, ENCE has looked good on both. I wouldn't specifically single out either attack or defense and say, oh, I think ENCE has looked better, unless you have different thoughts.
No, I really don't. I think that in general, what we've been seeing from ENCE is just every time ENCE finds somebody, any target, and they communicate it, they relay it to their team. Sure, they might lose a player there, but there's always immediate refrags. And if they don't lose a player, then it's always a win in the fight for ENCE. They take one-on-ones, they take one-on-twos, they take whatever they can get, but Psycho going to take a little bit away in turn, eliminating Chalet with a very early kill. That seems to have been through the drone hole there. Thank you, Marsu. Nice little angle there to use, and the high damage from that glass rifle will be enough to eliminate someone, even a 3 armor, by shooting his feet.
We've seen Chalet get picked off his dog very early, which is not typically how your dog is supposed to work, but that's okay because the rest of the team has been able to rebound. And we'll see if they're able to do that at all. And there's been a couple role changes as well. They've taken Julio off of Ying and given it to PZD. Now, instead of Kamikaze being on Julio, you see, or Kamikaze being on Buck, Julio is, and now Kamikaze on Blackbeard. So I don't know if this is just in reaction to the fact that they are currently losing this matchup, or if this is something they've practiced before.
Not entirely sure, but as you can see here from Black Dragons, they're going to use their vertical control to open up these holes. Then they're going to go for a main lobby take. You can tell this by the fact that you have a Blackbeard on the main balcony. It's likely you're also going to see some pressure from the west lobby, but as you can tell, ENCE, their entire strategy is roam and trophy. If they can maintain control over trophy and the roam game, they can collapse upon Black Dragons as Black Dragons starts to execute. Kamikaze going to get a nice kill there onto Panari. That's very important. He does lose a shield, but it's not going to really matter in the long run. We do see a reset downstairs, and ENCE down 2 men, and it's going to be a 5-3 with the last minute on the clock ticking away. Some gas grenades being used.
Shaping up very poorly for ENCE at the moment. They lost too much too early on. Boonzi will peek the glass, but still managed to stay alive. We'd seen an early smoke there to deny a push in through trophy. Always a wise idea typically to combat a glass smoke with a smoke of your own, especially to halt a push. But Black Dragon's getting in position to jump in through this window into trophy. Kanto Raketti eliminates Kamikaze. You've lost your Blackbeard, and he is still just as vicious. Kanto could go for a jump through the window and pick somebody off if they're not expecting it. You can see that he sees PZD and Julio, but Black Dragon's a very delayed anti-flank, and now Bootsy goes down, and Black Dragon's just waiting. Wilkie gonna go for a C4. That will stop. That's a double kill. That's a huge C4. That's Psycho and Wagger down, but Julio gets the kill, and Black Dragon starts things off with a victory.
A very necessary victory at that. They needed the lead in the early game, if nothing else, for the moral support. It's really an important thing at this level of play with this crowd who has been so much more quiet than we're used to. I think that Black Dragons really needed to give them a reason to cheer. Now, Kitchen Trophy, defense for Black Dragons. No surprise there, both of these teams preferring it. It's Chalet. Come on, there's not much to talk about there. ENCE eSports, they are going to be bringing in IQ, and Kanto Raketti has been doing some good work with IQ throughout today, and they're going to put Chalet on Ash instead. A bar defense here from Black Dragons, a little bit different than what we're used to seeing, actually. This is, I thought it was Trophy. They must have changed it the last second. This is really cool. Now, bar is a bomb site that has not really been in the meta ever, but I think has been trying to inch its way in there. Similar to Customs on Border, it's the sort of bomb site that is very easy to hold if executed properly, but the level of strategy that goes into this hold is kind of elaborate, and it takes a lot of coordination.
This is a very big gamble, though, too. And how many times have we seen teams run with these slightly less orthodox spots and just get absolutely brutally punished for it. And if we end up winning, if you end up with ENCE winning this 5-3, and if they had gone a more conventional route and won it, it could have been a 4-4. That's a big difference right there. That is essentially you tossing away the championship if it doesn't go in your favor.
Yeah, good cameras here, though, from Black Dragons are going to give them a lot of information on the push when it comes from ENCE eSports. Kamikaze setting himself up for a run out onto Cantor Ikedi. He's got a good line of sight, but he's not going to choose to commit to it. As you can see, Cantor Ikedi making great use of his IQ will eliminate that camera, and that's why he's brought it to the field. Chalet, notorious as a map that has a lot of runouts.
Another different strategy being used here. Kanto is on the IQ with Chalet on the Ash. We've seen that Chalet has been running a lot of IQ over the last map or so.
Yep.
And then prior to that, Kanto had been playing a lot of Ash today too. So I'm not sure why the changes. I would guess.
Well, 3-speed, good gun, explosions. They both have it. So.
Booming.
Yep, exactly. Moving and booming. And we are going to have a little bit more utility on Cantor Ikedi, technically speaking.
Yeah, and Chalet now pressuring PZD just outside of that mirror window, and he'll manage to open it up, but you don't want to deal with that high fire rate of Ela. And they'll cook a grenade to try and get in. It looks like PZD will lose some of his life, but not much of it, and now they'll drone up the stairs. But a big C4 from WAG as Kanto goes goodbye. And once again, Black Dragons with an explosive start, quite literally.
So, Cantor Ikedi, both of his explosions missing their target, and WAG says, look at me. I am the explosion master now. But Psycho gets another kill and takes out Chalet, putting it on to a 5-on-3. ENCE finally look like they're on the back foot for this match.
In final minute, they will manage to break the mirror open. That'll push PZD towards the door of Library to look up top of those stairs. I don't think ENCE was expecting this given their hesitation. And now that those EMPs going off, Wilkie will flash in and try to push somebody out. WAG is positioned to catch anybody who rushes in towards the bar or gaming hall. And Wilkie gets awfully close. But no, he doesn't check, and Psycho manages to get a kill. Wilkie won't get the charge off, and now Bootsy just has to run in. Julio wins his fight, and a dominating performance from BD as ENCE only has one left. It's Panari, and PZD finishes things off. They're up 2-0.
As you can tell from the roar of the crowd, very happy locals. Now, Black Dragons have seemed much more in sync on Chalet. ENCE not so much. There's a lot of hiccups happening on their side of things. The covering from the main lobby, in this instance from the attackers, didn't really accomplish anything. They opened up that mirror window, but they didn't relocate any of the defenders in any meaningful way because they weren't pushing from the offices or the master, so why even open the mirror in the first place? They didn't really get anything with their nades, so their utility in terms of explosions not being utilized at all. And as you can tell, the crowd really wants Black Dragons to continue this 2-0 and put it into a 3-0 as ENCE go back to the defense of the trophy kitchen. Now, last time we saw ENCE defend the kitchen trophy, the reason they lost it, I would say, it has a lot to do with the fact they lost their dock in the first couple minutes, first couple seconds really, of the round, and then they continued to lose player after player with no serious rebuttal. It's interesting, and I don't think that it's going to happen again, especially given that now we have that shield being placed from Chalet inside of Trophy that will deny the drone hole, of course, its usage. But they also don't have a dock, and that's going to be, I think, telling of a more dynamic, fluid defense from ENCE, which is typically what has been working so far in this finals for every single team. When you go for the sort of operators and plays that allow you to maneuver freely, you tend to have more success.
Absolutely. And I wonder if ENCE is going to be able to avoid making these critical mistakes that we saw. And one thing that is in common with all the matches, and I just want to mention this really quick before we get into the round, was we said that, Evil Geniuses is committing a lot of mistakes. Fawn is committing a lot of mistakes. What's the commonality between them? It's that it's been against ENCE. ENCE is making good teams look average. And that is why they are here in the finals right now. They just did it to Black Dragons. And now they have to prove that they can do it again.
And I certainly think they're in line to prove that. However, they are going to still be at a deficit on the second map. Now, of course, if you weren't here, Oregon did go to ENCE, which was Black Dragon's map pick. So a little bit of a surprise there, but it was in decisive fashion, 5-2. So there's every possibility ENCE will be able to come back on this now map number 2 of this best-of-3 series. And again, these are the finals.
You see Kanto Ricchetti jumps in. He'll greet Julio, who wins that one. The Buck does. And Black Dragons gets the leadoff kill for the 3rd round in a row. And even though he loses some life, your Ella is down.
Kanto Ricchetti has been putting in a lot of work so far in this series, and having him being taken out like that is very crucial for Black Dragons. And that little bit of HP is definitely worth it, considering Julio is still going to be opening up plenty of holes in that floor. Kamikaze holding the flank from the main balcony, able to deny any pushes coming from Library. It's a very crucial position, but the C4, is it going to find him? No, but it will damage him, and the drone will be eliminated as well. So not necessarily a waste of utility there from Wilkie, but potential not quite hit.
And ENCE will have to hold on, as it looks like Black Dragons is going to start to roll through. This is the tooth and the fang that we have seen of this team as they start to pressure from above. And that is going to cause every member of ENCE down in dining and kitchen to have to get out of the way. Wag, a big kill on Nabunsi. And as you can see, there's only 3 left. A 5v3, Panari and Wag will joust with one another, as Panari is likely the next casualty of Black Dragons, unless he is somehow able to get out of dodge. But 50 seconds, as Panari does have an escape hatch just next to him, and Chalet still sitting inside of Trophy Room, but he will get spotted, as is Panari. And now, Black Dragons knows where to push and knows how to start. A whole bunch of smoke goes down, and Psycho will drop. He takes the head off Panari. Only 2 more victims. He'll get another as Psycho takes down Chalet, and a 3rd as down goes Wilkie. Black Dragons up 3-0.
Psycho absolutely proving his namesake there with that excellent 3K to finish things out. All it took was 1 smoke to cover him, and he went in incognito, eliminated all of those defending operators one by one. Beautiful execution. Chalet clearly in the favor of Black Dragons. They will move on to the kitchen trophy defense, and ENCE has to reevaluate their options, take a step back and think to themselves, okay, how can we fix this? How can we get this lead back? Will we have to push it onto border?
Are we sure that this is ENCE's map? They're down 3-0, and that's the thing, is it's like it doesn't matter whose map this is. Right now, this is Black Dragon's map. And look at Psycho, 7-0-1, absolutely demolishing the opposition. And it has not been a good showing for ENCE. Every single member of that team has gone as cold as the snowy exterior of Chalet.
To answer your question, I have a feeling, or no, I don't have a feeling. From the way it looks in Rainbow Six Pro League and how it's always been really, is map preference is an established thing, yes. As a player, as an individual, you can prefer to play one map. But eventually you will find that map not working for you. I remember way back when Canal was the map that my team wanted to play, and then suddenly we were the worst team at Canal. It's the sort of thing that happens in Rainbow Six that I think is kind of an interesting thing, an interesting turn of events that can happen where, yes, in history, we would say ENCE, they love Chalet. It's one of their best maps, one of their favorite maps, but that's ancient history at this point as the way Rainbow Six meta goes. And more importantly, this is an unrecognizable ENCE. I don't know who these players are. This is completely new. So, that said, it makes sense that maybe they're going to be able to take a little bit of a back foot on a map that you would expect them not to have to do that.
Now Black Dragons in impressive position. Just under a minute played in round number 4, and ENCE looks to be trying to take control of Bedroom. Now, of course, taking control of Master is going to be the major focus point or focal point for your team's attack. Once you can do that, you can start to bully them from above, as we saw last round, as the Buck was able to open up all of the floor and push out Panari, who was located down in Dining Hall. But PZD is up top still, and of course, we have seen time and time again, he's been able to swing through any rotate holes or even any open doorways and be able to punish those who don't check beforehand. Now, ENCE has had a relatively prolific drone game thus far in the finals, so I would imagine that they were able to cycle him out. But it's that raw aim potential of PZD that you really have to worry about. We hit the halfway mark in round number 4.
PZD and Julio, who is on 7 kills right now, really stepping up for his team, and we saw that aim potential, like you were talking about, really highlighted last round. Now, in this round, half the round already gone. Panari going to be pressuring through this hole onto Kamikaze, and ENCE is just going to look for any opportunity Black Dragons is going to give to them, but Black Dragons wisely will simply wait it out. And that's all they need to do, really. They have a good positioning right now that they won't be exposed to ENCE's prodding. As time ticks away, Black Dragons also still have a roam game upstairs. WAG gonna eliminate Chalet. That was a run out essentially on the garage doorway. As Psycho peeks around, he's gonna not be eliminated. In fact, he will skate by. Panari, though, meanwhile, will take out Julio. And also an important frag. That's evened out the man count now. Psycho and PZD challenging together. Kamikaze and WAG get kills of their own, and it's gonna be PZD who will be eliminated by Boonsy. Cantor Raketti gets Kamikaze, and it's continuing to even out. 2-on-2, 30 seconds to go. Bomb site control of B in favor of ENCE, but it's lost as Cantor Raketti gets eliminated by Psycho, and another kill by Psycho. He comes off the roam, comes back to the bomb site, and eliminates the push by himself. What is happening to this player? He is coming alive.
Enormous misread of the situation by ENCE there. That was a colossal mistake. Cantor Raketti had perfect control of that bomb site, could have easily planted by the wall of that bearskin rug and had the other member of ENCE that was remaining watch over him. But Boonsy wasn't able to do it, and when he dropped down to try and assist Cantor, it was all too late. Hopped in to his own death through that window in Trophy. ENCE could have very easily just zoned out the defenders and gotten a plant off. Instead, I don't know why, Cantor went frag hunting and it bit them. They now find themselves on match point only 4 rounds in, and we start round number 5. This could be a flawless map for Black Dragons, who with Psycho leading the way are absolutely crushing ENCE. And a lot of good words need to go towards Black Dragons because they have successfully drawn out that patient, overthinking, cautious ENCE that we saw get eliminated from lands early in the past.
You know, and I don't think it's just the fact that they misread the situation. I think it's also the fact that ENCE, okay, where were they at a minute 40, and where were they at a minute? They were all on master balcony, and then finally they pushed into master, but it was 4 players committing to that push, and that's not accomplishing anything. You didn't have anybody on the main balcony watching for the flank, which allowed those roamers to continue to try and contest from library. You didn't have anyone trying to clear out library as a point of fact. You were just simply pushing in through master, and that does not work. The only time I've seen a full 4 or 5 man push into one location be successful is usually when you're going to have a rush of some sort, and the attacking team gets a little bit lucky and catches the defenders off guard. And not at this level of play, and not without a rush.
Psycho back on his favorite Glaz, and he has been an absolute terror so far yesterday and today on an operator that really doesn't get a ton of usage. Now, Glaz, of course, there used to be the dreaded Glaz meta, as a lot of people referred to it as.
Yeah.
And it was very oppressive, and a lot of people did not enjoy it. It made a lot of people very angry. But now it's gone.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who used to play Glaz will still do it. Usually he's seen as more situational. But if you have an accurate shot, you can take him down. And there's only 4 bodies remaining for Black Dragons as PZD eliminates Cantor Raketti on the roam. So, beat Black Dragons, like I said, 4 more kills to putting this onto a tiebreaker. Chalet, the wall behind him gets lit up by PZD, and he's struggling to get in through that window. Now Chalet able to get up. He's going to C4 and go by PZD. It's going to leave us 1 apiece.
And that's the first kill in this entire map for Chalet, but he gets eliminated by Kamikaze, who comes up from the library hallway. You have Panari, though, with the refrag onto WAG, and that's an essential kill. Before falling back, he maintains the even man count. The diffuser has been downed, which will force Black Dragons to reacquire it. Psycho frantically looking for a target on that main lobby balcony as he covers his teammates to go and retrieve said diffuser. Now, Black Dragons, they have control, and they have time, but ENCE has completely defaulted, which means the caution from Black Dragons here is not going to really work out for them. They need to start positioning to actually push. They need to retrieve the diffuser still. What is happening? There seems to be miscommunication going on with Black Dragons as the time continues to tick away. Nobody's in a position to get that diffuser. There's 3 players left, and they're all making their own assertions and pushes, which makes no sense. Diffuser still down. Kamikaze going to get a kill onto Wilkie. ENCE may not know that they simply need to wait out the time, but that is the case. 3 versus 2 now. Continuing of the push here from Black Dragons is coming on from the blue hallway. Panari going to be a victim of this glass in all likelihood as he hits the barbed wire. He is going to be conscious, no, not conscious of the Panari inside of the trash cans, but he will actually win the fight. Panari gets eliminated. Bonesy, the last defender left alive, he's going to take out Psycho, and it's a 1 versus 2 now. Diffuser being planted. Kamikaze will go down. The planter is going down right now. Can he get it through the wall? He can! Bootsy clutches out the round by himself. The time ticks away. It forces the plant, and that's all it needs to end this round, which has happened. We saw 40 seconds of Black Dragons leaving the diffuser on that top floor. None of the 3 attackers were thinking to themselves, okay, let's go get the diffuser to start this push. And because of that, the time just was lost for Black Dragons and no 5-0.
At very minimum, they were still able to get that diffuser down in time by the skin of their teeth. But as close as it got, ENCE could now start to mount a comeback. But Black Dragons has looked like a completely different team. One big thing to note, though, as well. Black Dragons have had some serious miscommunication issues.
Yeah.
First, it was WAG on the final round, round number 7 on Oregon, where he thought the diffuser was down, but it was not. This time, struggling to go back and get that diffuser itself. So, because of this, I wonder if a big reason why they played so far below their potential on Oregon wasn't necessarily just ENCE playing well, which they did, but also that there was just a hiccup in the way that they communicate with one another.
Yeah, a little bit of a hiccup. I mean, a big hiccup. You know, it was a mistake that ended up hurting them quite a lot. Now, ENCE, they can recover here. They have just solidified themselves in this map. They have established that they will not be eliminated that easily, but it's still a daunting task. I mean, they've got to win 3 rounds in a row to get that OT. PZD going to be peeking out of the rocks. There's nobody spawning over by the bonfire, so that's not going to actually get him any reward, nor will it be to his deficit, nor will he die. But there is going to be an attacking squad setting up to clear out the bar defense that we're seeing again. This is really interesting. Bar yet again from Black Dragons. I believe it did. Yeah, no, it did work out for them last time they went here. And I think a lot of it was to do with the fact that ENCE was kind of spread out. They were all over the place. It's a little bit more of a focus being placed on the west side of the building now. As you can see, Chalet is actually here to support Cantor Raketi, which means they're going to clear out this Jaeger device and then go for the nade. I'm guessing there's 2. There are, in fact. Kamikaze is the Jaeger. He is playing the position that needs Jaeger the most. He will be putting down his Jaeger devices. Oh, no. Cantor Raketi going to team kill onto Chalet with a nice flick onto the window. A reactive flick at that. But Black Dragons fans in the crowd very happy to hear that. However, Cantor Raketi does get it back onto WAG, and that's very important. If he had just walked away with that after killing his teammate and that's it, then it probably would have been the end of the map.
Julio positioned on that stairwell, just outside of the bar gaming room, and now PZD inside of library. He's going to get taken down by Boonsy, and ENCE has awoken just like Black Dragons did earlier on in the first map on Oregon. Cantor Raketi takes firm control of library, looks towards the doorway, and as you can see, Psycho going to get a kill on the Panari, but as he comes out, he drops just in time, but gets downed in the process, and that's something that won't be aware or won't be alerted to. Now we need to say this time and time again, there is no points system, so you do not know if you've downed somebody, and Cantor Raketi looks to maybe finish up, and he will. So he's making up for the fact that he took Chalet down, and that's 2 kills just from him alone. That's going to leave Julio and Kamikaze left. Now, I like that Black Dragons was able to stop ENCE on this site before, but luck might have run out, and this might end up being their undoing because of how quickly momentum can shift. Julio is going to get chased into the basement. He'll rotate through Snowmobile Garage as Kamikaze inside a bar is the lone person on site. Now, depending on the location of their Valkyrie cams, keep in mind that there is still a C4 at the disposal of Julio. Oh, Kanto from above is going to get Kamikaze, and this is a big round from him. All that's left is Julio. And Julio's going to manage to eliminate Boonsy, the only other person with a kill on the board this round. Wilkie will get Diffuser down, and Kanto's just going to miss Julio from above. But Julio is going to need to hop outside. As Mira, he will likely be exposed, and he will be detected. They will now assume that he's going to go for the run out through the window, and that's where Wilkie is poised to strike. Instead, Julio hops back in through library and looks towards that hatch. Will he use it or the stairs? 2 members left of ENCE to protect this Diffuser as it nears the halfway mark. He'll open up the hatch above. He'll finally drop. And now, he'll lumber towards that diffuser. A C4 will go outside, but there is nobody there. Kanto, a nice kill onto Julio, and that's 4 on him for the round. And ENCE strings 2 together. They are still alive, but hanging by a thread.
Technically, it was 5. Making up for that team kill earlier in the round, Cantor Raketti really stepping up for his team. And he is going to be putting his team at a better spot here. Now, they still have a long match ahead of them. 2 more rounds till that overtime. Counting them down, and I'm sure they are feeling much more confident now, though. Every single time ENCE gets a little bit, if you give them an inch, they will take a mile. And it seems like they might actually be able to just secure this off of the momentum they gained from the first round win. However, again, still a lot. If they continue to kill Psycho earlier in the rounds, then I think they'll be having a better time of it. You can see Cantor Raketti going to be the Psycho for ENCE and stepping up. Kitchen trophy here for ENCE eSports.
Julio is going to be on blitz, and that caused them a lot of hardship the last time. Now, Oregon and Chalet are not always comparable sites. A blitz charging in through the basement of Oregon is a little bit different than the usual high archways and high ceilings of Chalet. A lot of destructibility and a lot of ways to take the blitz out, whereas when you're in the basement of Oregon, most of those walls are not penetrable. Number 1 and number 2, very close quarters. So, are we going to see the same amount of success? A big way that this works for them is that it gives Psycho an extra 2 more smokes to shoot through. He's an accurate shot. He's able to pick people off. And with that suppressor, you have no idea where you are being shot at from through that smoke. An absolute menace. And Black Dragons are going to try to stop the bleeding and not worry about having to go to OT.
I think if they can give every single advantage to Psycho to allow him to go Psycho, then we will certainly see them lock this out and then deny that over time. It's very important that they give him more opportunities. And like you said, those smokes from Julia are going to be helpful in that regard. Psycho just waiting for the opportunity like we were talking about on the outside. That's an invisible shield, but that's just the spectator mode, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry too much about that. It is, in fact, in front of his face, and there you go. It has reappeared.
The way they like to use Psycho is it's very conventional, and it's almost telegraphed, is that they won't really position him for too long at that window in Trophy Room. They will then rotate him upstairs to Master. They'll pop the hatch. He'll drop through it into a cloud of smoke, and usually that will happen after the actual smoke, the operator, has been eliminated. That's because ENCE has been doing a very sufficient job of countering Glaz's smoke grenades with smoke canisters, if you can follow what I'm saying with all the smokes and gases and all that jazz in it. So, because of that, the key to ENCE stopping that is to put somebody underneath that hatch and make sure that he can't drop. They've already conceded control, though, upstairs. And a minute and a half in, both these teams understanding how high these stakes are. And that sounds like a C4 goes off from Pulse of Chalet, and there's nobody home. It completely misses.
Unfortunate there for Chalet, but he still has the heartbeat detector and will be able to determine who exactly is above him. Cantor Raketti knows that PZD is going to be contesting from the snowmobile garage. PZD will be the one to shoot through the wall but not land anything onto Cantor Raketti, who has repositioned over into the connector. PZD wisely using his drone to determine that fact, and he will wait for the aggression, but it's not happening. Kanto playing this very smart. 56 seconds left to go, and Black Dragons and ENCE both still 5-5.
They'll sail by like 2 ships in the night. Panari gets downed, but he's not out. He'll still sit there and wait. A smoke from Boonsy will go off. It's a bit early in terms of time management, but that's okay because if you can stagger the second, you can get back onto that schedule. Kanto still under fire. Kamikaze is going to get Chalet, so essentially only 3 members of ENCE up, and that's all Black Dragons needs to secure this round. And Panari still not being picked up. Boonsy playing inside a trophy just by that doorway. And from above, Kanto, a nice kill on the Psycho. That is crucial. But BZD gets Wilkie, and still with Panari down, it's going to be up to Kanto and Boonsy to hold this off. And Boonsy's going to get one before being pressured by Kamikaze. He gets down. It's all up to Kanto. He sees Julio, and he'll take him down. So now it's a 2v1, essentially. Kamikaze, he sees PZD. Kanto, are you kidding me? It's just Kamikaze left. And now Kanto's going to wait out the time. They can't do it in time. Kanto manages to clutch that round out, and ENCE 3 in a row. They are coming back. Here come the Finns.
An amazing clutch there from Cantor Raketti, met to a hushed crowd, and it will be 1 away from overtime. They are every single one of these rounds winning by the skin of their teeth, but they're still winning. And Cantor Okedi is, again, he's the player who has stepped up and filled the void that was on ENCE. They needed somebody to just get the kills, make the plays, and establish the advantages. And there's a little bit of a belated applause there from the crowd. I think ENCE is well deserving of it.
There's some fans with their hands over their eyes. Can't believe what they're seeing. So close, but it could be slipping away. It's going to be incumbent on Black Dragons to recapture that lightning in a bottle that they had earlier. But look at Cantor Okedi. After a slow start, he and the rest of his team have awoken. Chalet bottom fragging spells trouble. If he can wake up over the next round, or 2 or 3, depending on how it goes, that could be enormous. And Psycho, though, has gone ice cold. He has not been able to string it together. He did well to start off with, but his plays, like we said, are telegraphed. They know how he's going to operate because of this. Black Dragons has looked so much better on attack than they have on defense over the last day and a half. They're now going to go to the position that I would say they are a touch weaker on. If ENCE is able to secure this victory and push it to overtime, the momentum will have firmly swung in the opposite direction, and that could end up being the storyline moving forward. But 3 minutes to play, still match point. Enormous implications. Do we see overtime, or do we see a third map? 2 Titans, butt heads, and here we go.
Last time we saw ENCE attack onto this bomb site, they came exclusively almost from the master balcony. This time it's going to be the library as they take out PZD with a quick melee there. Cantor Okedi is going to get that kill. That's a very important frag. PZD has been doing a lot of work for his team as of late, but Psycho's still on the field. Despite that, library control now in favor of ENCE, and extremely quick into the round as well. They are going to be able to focus their attention now on the master and office. Once they have the entire top floor, it's going to be a pretty simple process of clearing down one step at a time.
They've done something that they couldn't do the last time they attacked that site, which was gain hold of library within a minute and a half. They did it in 40 seconds. And now it's going to be up to them to try to find the other members of Black Dragons, who I assure you are going to be playing more cautiously. And we had seen that ENCE was playing very calculated, maybe a bit too passively. And the aggressiveness of Black Dragons.
Oh, no.
A nice C4, but Bootsy is able to backpedal, and he misses it. Now Kamikaze does have a second one next to him in Psycho, and you can see Bootsy doing a little bit of, I guess, remodeling himself on that floor, but there is nobody there. He sees Kamikaze, but he can't land the shots as the Pulse is able to skitter out of the way, and an EMP will go down as a bout of disruption. Now Wilkie watches to see if anybody is going to go in through kitchen. They seem to be changing their strategy. Now they've taken hold up top, they haven't been able to get to master bedroom just yet. Kanto is going to be a very important figure to watch here in the final minute. You see he'll push up.
They've just seen that there's only one player inside of dining, and that's Psycho. That's going to probably prompt a push into the dining table from ENCE. They're not really making great use of their vertical control just yet in this round, but there's still time. As the last minute comes down, here comes said dining table push.
And you've got all of Black Dragons in one location. One of 2 things are going to happen. It is either going to be an absolute slaughter or an impeccable hold. There is no other way around it. And they look to start their push now. 40 seconds. Chalet goes for a kill. He can't recover. Psycho pops up, but he gets a kill on a Panari. Immediately traded. 1 for 1 from Bootsy as they'll open holes into the wall just outside a trophy. Kamikaze and the smoke of WAG looking to try to hold people off. A flash goes in from Ash, and they'll just push inside of that kitchen. Kamikaze is down, and Wilkie is able to finish him off. Chalet should have no issues from above. Kanto is able to move WAG, and yes, they get it off. Julio, he gets his head taken off by Chalet. It's 4v1. This was a 4-0 in favor of Black Dragons. WAG gets a kill. Can he clutch it out, though? 3 left. Wilkie's positioned on the window. WAG needs to drive through his line of sight, and if he does so with his life intact, Kanto is the next one. Pistol out. Iron sights on. WAG through the hole. They'll shoot at it to try to drive him away as Diffuser just hits below the halfway mark. Now Kanto finishes it off. The Finns have tied it up. It's 4-4.
Overtime from a deficit of 4. They just won 4 rounds in a row. They answered Black Dragons 4 rounds in a row with their own 4 rounds in a row. It's very impressive, and I've never seen anything like it from them. It's just, we keep saying this, but this is not ENCE. This is a different team entirely. This is not our ENCE, and I hope that this is what we see in the future, but for what we have right now, it's truly beautiful. Kitchen trophy going to be the defense here from Black Dragons as they get defense first on overtime, which is again random. Which means ENCE is going to have to attack onto the same exact bomb site they just successfully attacked. Now, the problem that Black Dragons had on that hold was that they forfeited control over that dining table way too early. And ENCE saw that, capitalized, and pushed as a unit. Almost 4 players, I believe, pushing into that dining table and denying them any sort of control over the kitchen from above as well.
If the trend line holds, which is that Black Dragons has performed better on attack than on defense, this is a big problem. They are now going to have to defend twice if they want to, or at least one time, rather. But if it goes to extra innings, they will need to defend twice. The attack of ENCE has looked very precise, which is a word that we would use, precision, to describe Penta and Black Dragons in their previous matchups.
Absolutely.
Now one that can be loaned and used by ENCE. Loaned, I say, because they haven't proven themselves just yet, but one that can be inherited as well. Black Dragons have done some work on the walls inside of Dining Hall. They haven't really been favoring going downstairs one bit. In fact, I don't actually think we've seen Black Dragons defend the basement at all, because they're 2 off-sites. They've both gone bar and gaming. So Black Dragons has decided to eschew the bottom floor and just simply hold all of their hopes on the main floor of the Chalet. And that has been very interesting. I don't think we'll have to see them go bar and gaming if they are successful here and have to defend a second time, because I would say that ENCE has figured them out.
Now, ENCE, similar to that last round we just witnessed, have taken control of Library. The dissimilar fact here is that they did not get a kill in said process, and they have a lot of people in positions that I would say are going to cost time. Cantor Rocchetti, notably on that radio tower, is going to take at least 20 seconds, even as a 3-speed, to actually join his teammates. But he knows the angle he wants to play. It's that rotation between Master Hallway and Master Bathroom, which is a good angle. It's likely to be used considering this top-heavy roam from Black Dragons, which is now the primary focus of ENCE. They know that these defenders are here. They're going to start to hunt them down.
Halfway through the first round of overtime, and they've managed to find 2 of them. They'll break the hatch and PZD behind a reinforced wall. Psycho, interesting to see another operator switch there as well. Wag, instead of going on to site, will be a pseudo support in Valkyrie, and they'll have Psycho on Ella instead of PZD. Cantor Rocchetti eliminates Kamikaze. That was the Jaeger that was roaming inside a bathroom. Panari takes some damage from a C4, and now you still have 1 in Master and 1 in Office of Chalet. He'll slowly inch his way towards the site, but Wag just by the fireplace in the Great Room will be somebody to pursue. But no, he'll manage to scamper off. And it looks like the next one in line of sight is PZD himself as they circle in on him. 50 seconds left, and ENCE does have the advantage at the moment, but the question is going to be, are they going to be able to hunt them all down? Wilkie gets a kill on a PZD, and that's the bandit down. Psycho still up top inside of Office. If he can manage to get out, no! Panari finds him. This is systematic. They're just getting hunted down. Now Wag falls, and what is this Black Dragons team? It's just Julio left on site in a 1v5. He's going to try to go for Cantor Rocchetti. ENCE is 1 round away from championship.
An amazing attack there from ENCE. The patience from Cantor Rocchetti on the radio tower really paying off, cutting off that rotation, and then strangling the defense upstairs, which was further pressured from that push coming from Library. And just to reiterate, this is now 5 rounds in a row for ENCE, falling off of the first map, which was 5-2 in favor of ENCE, and the first 4 rounds that were all in favor of Black Dragons on this map. This is incredible from them.
The crowd trying to muster up as much energy as it can, and as it can. Give energy, please. Take energy, and hopefully they are able to recover if you're a fan of them. Psycho has gotten 1 kill over the last 4 rounds, but Cantor Rocchetti has gotten 10.
Jeez, Canto!
So, everybody else on ENCE appears to have woken up, and they are doing their jobs dutifully. Black Dragons will need to have that precise strike that we have seen before, where we've said they will all scope out their targets, execute their strats, and then push in. It's smothering, it's suffocating, and most important, it's often so effective. It has not been to ENCE over the last 5 rounds, or, well, rather 2 or 3, depending on how you look at it. Because of this, if they do that, they will move back to defense. They will get a second crack at going into kitchen or trophy. Now, if I was Black Dragons, I would possibly, if I win this round as Black Dragons, I would possibly throw an ultimate curve wrench, and I'd go, or a wrench in their plan, a curve ball, a curve wrench, and I would go downstairs, which they haven't seen them do so far.
I mean, it would be pretty interesting, but I don't know if they're going to try that. They're likely going to want to try to stick to their guns, right? I mean, they are right now in a very, very tricky spot. they're the ones that have to face being eliminated outright. ENCE still has a map advantage. All that ENCE has on their mind is, yeah, we could win this right now. This one round is all we need to move out of this whole series and be the Year 2 Season 3 champions. And that's so huge.
One thing I like about this strategy is we were talking about precise strikes and executing their plan. The last time we saw Julio on a fuse, that I can recall, the last time that we saw him so effective on
Clubhouse
fuse was on Clubhouse against
right.
Infamy. And what did they do? They
it was
used
beautiful.
him for area denial, and essentially he flushed out all the defenders. And what did he do? Right into the waiting arms of the attackers, and bang, bang, bang. Multiple kill feed of Black Dragons.
It was Kamikaze and Wag both who were in position to receive those kills that Julio handed to him on a silver platter. Not only that, but he also got a kill on a rotation that wasn't necessarily expectant from the master bedroom upstairs on that clubhouse hold. But that was all ancient history at this point. Black Dragons need to apply that use here and now in order to really push, well, to stay alive, to stay in this.
They made it to the finals as Sisu, but they haven't been able to capture it yet. Overshadowed in most part by another dominant European team, which is Penta, and they are now on match point. Half of the round, we still have all 10 operators. Black Dragons waiting to get into position, and ENCE hoping that they can weather the storm. Psycho able to get some drone work done, and it looks like the first cluster charge from Julio is going to go off. That is going to rain destruction down and push Chalet away, but not able to get him out so far. Kanto waiting for Psycho to push. Now look at this.
He didn't see Kanto.
He doesn't know that he's there. And if Psycho pushes down completely unaware, Kanto can get a free kill. He does see the gun barrel, and around he goes. Kanto gets leadoff kill. 4 more to go for the Finns. He will immediately run for the hills just in case, as there are still Black Dragon members looking to finish this up. PZD is going to try to flush him out of blue and throw down a series of Candelas as Julio looks to pick away at the wall. Kanto gets a second on a PZD, and there are only 3 left. Through the floor, Julio goes looking. He'll get one on to Chalet. 3v4. Kanto tries to go for Wag, but he can't. They battle back. It's a 3v3 now with 30 seconds to go. Wilkie still able to flank if need be. Wag pushes in, and you see the Blackbeard of Kamikaze has to go back up. Wilkie does some damage, tries to go for the Blackbeard. He drops him, and that's Diffuser down as well. He proves to be the better Navy SEAL operator. Bootsy adds to Wag. You call them ENCE, we call them champions. ENCE takes Year 2, Season 3.
As you can see here, ENCE incredibly happy. And the first win they've ever gotten from any LAN, having been to every single one of them. They are so deserving of this victory, and they will continue an only North American and European victory from the finals.
6 rounds in a row, uncontested. You saw Wilkie tear up on stage, and I cannot imagine what is going to happen now. A very deserving team, every single LAN, and gone home empty-handed. No more. ENCE are your champions.
The crowd, as you can tell, not feeling it right now. Black Dragons was their team, but here we go. The respect is due, and they do give it out. And you got to hand it to them. Touching moment of sportsmanship here between these two teams.
Kanto Ricchetti, a large part of why this team was able to capture this championship. And you can see Julio in good spirits, 2 of the most prominent members of their teams and their regions. The Cinderella story doesn't run out.
They so deserve it.
In just a couple minutes, Matt Andrews will take over and hand the awards to your Year 2 Season 3 champions, ENCE eSports. The 5 Finns coming in.
You can see Kanto Ricchetti in the back there, but he certainly was the upfront player for this match.
Check.
He
and now
absolutely
we'll
did.
throw to Matt Andrews for the awards ceremony. They shake the hands of all of them. What a performance from all 5. Absolutely incredible. And now they move to the Invitational as champions, not just as their regional champions too. We'll see them. We're just going to get to the interview in just a moment. Black Dragons, though, have a lot to be proud of. An incredible season came in. Everybody was talking about their prowess and how they were the team to beat. But your champions, first and foremost. We'll throw to the interview. Matt Andrews, celebrate with the team.
You can feel the warmth and you can feel the love in here. And I know many people will be feeling it all over the world as well to see a team of true competitors with great heart, great skill, and determination who have fallen, though, again and again and again. And it's been heartbreaking to see and heartbreaking to be involved with, but I guess all of that makes moments like being the champion all the more sweeter, because ENCE eSports are the champions of the Rainbow Six Pro League at last! Last time you went and shook hands with people, I nearly lost you. Come back to me. So here we are. Now look out here. We have this absolutely legendary audience. Now we've had so much fun here in Sampa as well. You guys have been incredible. So let's first put our hands together for the fallen finalists. And you guys were the first to lead the cheers for them just now. Black Dragons, ladies and gentlemen. Black Dragons, that's for you. But now let's talk about ENCE eSports. You guys, we have talked about this again and again. It barely needs to be repeated. We all know it so well. 18 months ago, you and I had a chat before a grand final. We haven't had many of those. We've talked after competitions many times. Now, Wilkie, you stand next to me, and on the other side are the trophies that you guys are going to have in a moment and keep. But along with them, the memory of doing it in front of a crowd who've cheered so much for you, as well as your opponents. Tell this audience and everybody watching what that means for you.
Thank you, everyone. You have been the best audience Rainbow can ever get. I'm speechless. Like, it has been so long journey, and I've been talking about the sacrifices that I have to do to compete at this level, and finally it pays off. We are the champions.
There you go. Do you want to say it again?
What?
Say it again.
A champion. That kind of sounds nice.
Does kind of sound nice, right? You guys earned it too. That was a good contest. Black Dragons, first map went very much your way until Black Dragons kind of woke up and got involved. Second game, not so quite so easy on Chalet. Any worries at any time? I know a lot of people would have liked to see 3 maps of that, but were you worried?
Before the match, we made it clear with every player in the team that no matter what, don't think what's the score, just take it round by round. And if we do our thing, work hard, the trophy will be there in the end. So just go round after round.
I do want to give the chance to any of your teammates. Come with me, Wilkie, if any of you have got anything that you want to say, because this moment means so much to all of you. Shatter.
I just want to thank all the Brazilian fans. You are amazing. Thanks so much. Thank you. Torille!
I'm not going to ask you to translate because that's not gone well for me over the last day or two.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just really speechless. This crowd is really incredible, man, and I can't really believe that we did it.
I'm just speechless.
Understandably so. I'm giving you this moment on stage because you have deserved it so much. I wanted you to have this time here to feel it in front of this crowd. The whole community really has hoped that one day you would do this and it would never get to that stage where we would just never see it. We're going to see it right now. Ladies and gentlemen, live here in Sao Paulo, the champions of Rainbow Six Pro League, Year 2 Season 3, the legendary ENCE eSports!